Yeah, I just had to clear my name a little bit. Thanks. Yeah, I'm fine. No, I got them done. Someone got filtered. Yeah, I think there's a lot of, everybody has a lot of high emotions in this case. I think the emotions are so high in this case, and I am so guilty of being emotionally attached, and very emotional. I'm a very emotional person. I'm a fucking emotional person, in every type of way. Have you talked to Kim? Like, since when? No, I think Kim, she's probably sleeping or locked down. I talked to her earlier, but not like late, like since tonight. No. And I want y'all to understand that, like, whatever I talk to Kimmy about, like, some things can be discussed, but not stuff in regards to her case or her charges or anything like that. Like, if it's general BS talk, like, cool, let's talk about it. Like, if it's funny stuff, I mean, explain. You talk to Kimmy in jail? Explain what? Is it a problem that I talk to people in jail? Is it? Is it wrong that I talk to people incarcerated? Kinda? No. Well, it's recorded. No, people are just weird. No. No, but nobody cares about that info, and that's why I don't talk to it. That's why I don't say it online. That's why I don't talk about it. But people have a lot of questions about it, but I choose not to talk about it. I'm not ashamed to talk to people in jail. I'm not. I'm a fixer. I am. Both of my exes in the past 2 years are incarcerated, are in prison. I have one of them name on my arm. Like, I'm my own person. I have my own actions. Everybody that explains a whole lot about you. Okay? Listen, there's people on here that do true crime and talk about these cases that have been incarcerated. You know what I mean? So what's the difference in me talking to somebody in jail or in prison, and these people have been in prison? What's the difference? You can't be a hypocrite. You can't. Like, it gotta make sense somewhere, because it don't. It's just, I don't. Kimmy's not a schmurderer. She's not. I don't believe she is. I don't believe she was there. I don't believe she even knew what happened, only what she was told. And that's it. And if Kimmy needs somebody to talk to, and I've been talking to her since before she was even in jail, then I'm going to continue talking to her. If she feels I'm a safe space, then allow her to talk to me. And nobody needs to know about that. Nobody needs to know about our conversations. That's nobody's business. Just like y'all's conversations with y'all's friends in a private setting is not my business. It's just, and I don't, I feel that way. I feel like she needs somebody that has a mindset and understands things. She still lied to the police. She didn't lie to the police. That's just what they're being charged with. Being charged with somebody doesn't mean that you're guilty of it. She's innocent until being proven guilty. Do y'all realize that? Everybody is innocent until proven guilty in court. Kimmy did not lie to that police officer. Kimmy told that police officer what she was told. That's what she did. Being told something and seeing something and telling them is two different things. Let's make that very clear. Exactly. Do y'all not see how corrupt Wexford County is? Do y'all want me, and I've already made 2 posts about it. If you go to my Facebook page, True Crime Nicole, you will see 2 posts about corruption in Wexford County in Michigan and Michigan State Police. And I'll continue posting about the corruption in Wexford County and Michigan State Police and Michigan and all, medical examiner's office, how they fail people. Go look. It's there. They're probably twiddling their thumbs in bed like, I fucked up. I fucked up. I'm okay with being the one that nobody's for. You know what I mean? I'm okay with being the person that nobody likes. Everybody thinks I want it for clout. Being bashed every day. I'm still here. I'm still going to click live. I'm still going to post. I'm still going to continue. And I'm going to lash out all the shit, the corruption in this county. And that's what's going to happen. And I'm not going to be ashamed of it. And I'm going to still answer those video calls and those phone calls and those messages. And that's what I'm going to do. And nobody can tell me anything. Just like y'all are y'all's own people, I'm my own person. And you don't have to like it. I went on Chef's Live tonight and we don't even fucking like each other. But I need to clear my name. I do. So I'm going to do it. And I did it and I got off and I went about my day. That's it. It's done. It's over with. Keep it moving. I'm not talking about you, but if Kimmy knew and protected, she's guilty. Protected? Did you ever think she could be lying to you? I have, yeah. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Right, I have. I think today proved a lot. And I think if they didn't have charges on her right now, if they didn't have charges on her by tonight, I don't think Kimmy's going to see more charges. I don't. I don't think Kimmy is. I don't think Kimmy's going to see any more charges. She may have actually be scared. Who's Kimmy's man? His name is Matt, but he's irrelevant to this case. He's somebody we don't need to talk about. That's who he is. I was asking because I'm so surprised somebody exists in that circle that we didn't hear. Because he's just a normal person. He's a normal person with a job, minds his own business, and goes about his life. Don Juan is here. I just got off the phone with him. We talked about things that it doesn't need to be discussed on live, and we're going about our day. That's just that. And what we discussed doesn't need to be repeated on here, and I pray it doesn't. And that's where we're going. What's the topic about? Whatever you'd like. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about what you ate for dinner? Okay, tell me what you ate for dinner. Y'all, please be respectful in the chat. Paige and Trust. I know, Abby, and I'm so thankful for everybody that has supported me. I didn't have lasagna. Do you still talk to Paige? No. I don't. I'm going to be starting my... Yes, girl. You let me know. I'll support you. I plan on buying a cup for me. Oh, girl. Go, girl. Wait, Shirley, is your little puzzle thing for autism? What do you think about her current charges? Who? Shirley, I want to show you something. Is Ashley a player in all of this? I don't know. I just made this tonight. Isn't that so cute? It just made me think about you. So cute. I'm done with it, Four Sons. I finished it. Your little kid cup. It's just, I gotta put more solution in it. Goodbye. Hello. How are you, love? You follow me, but you're saying goodbye. Okay, bye. Not yet. Not yet. No, tell her hello. Let her stay here. Let her sit. Let her sit. Let her have fun. Why aren't you answering questions? What questions? Oh, thank you. What questions do you need answered? Jimmy is a great guy. Jimmy? I give up? Wait, what? She's been asking about Kimmy's charges and your feelings on them. I think she's not guilty. Don't look down. I'm sorry. Fuck. Okay, go ahead. Does anybody want to come up and talk? Let's discuss. I think she was manipulated. You're cooking at 11:30 at night? What the hell? Do you think Rich will get more charges? I don't know about him. Honestly, I could give two fucks. I don't know. I'll see when the time comes, I guess. I haven't even thought about him. If you want me to be honest with you, what I don't understand is why. LOL, why? Why what? Oh, at 6 p.m. Okay. Supporting 5 people in need today. Okay, go support the homeless. Get out of my life. I'm a day ahead of you. Well, I hope tomorrow is good. I pray tomorrow's a good day. Do y'all agree with me? Do y'all agree with me? Y'all hope tomorrow's a good day? Did you know Kimmy before this? No. It's payday. Buy a cup. No, I'm just kidding. Do you think Kimmy will be released? I don't know. Hopefully. I think tomorrow's going to be a great day. Me too. What case is next? I don't know. This case isn't over. This case isn't over. Do you worry about the rug case, the Schmurder case, and your chat Life 360 contact with Kimmy? No, why? Will you be looking into any more missing people or cases in the area as this one? Yes. This case is just getting started. Better yet, I might end up buying a hoodie since I have a long sleeve. And sweatshirt coming. Do it. Do you think it's safe for her to be released? Yes. I just wish they could find that precious baby so he could be late. Yeah, me too. Are we working? No, not right now.
A phone.
I just have a few questions.
Hey, sure. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, so I heard you say that you think Kimmy's innocent. Like, do you think that before hearing about the text messages where she apparently told her sister that she's fixing to kill her?
Unalive.
Sorry, I forgot TikTok words.
I've never seen those text messages.
I haven't either, but I've heard them mentioned, and I was like, you say that, and then your sister ends up unalived? Like, what?
Well, I mean, that TV's kind of loud. The I've never seen them, so I mean, once I see them, maybe I can speak on them then. But until I see them, then that's just hearsay to me.
I was just curious since I heard you say you thought she was innocent, and then I was hearing about those text messages, and I was like, just kind of thinking to myself, like, how is she innocent if she's going to say things like that, and then her sister ends up unalived? Like, to me, it just seems shady.
Well, I mean, like I said, if I haven't seen those text messages, then I can't base my opinion off of those.
Okay, that's all I was wondering.
Okay. Do you know where they came from?
I have no idea, but I want to say, and I could very well be wrong, but I thought it was that Dawn guy said that they were in Kimmy's phone or something.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, see, somebody else said it was him too.
Don Juan shared that info. I don't know. He's never come to me with that info.
Yeah, I think he said it on.
Has he ever showed them?
I don't know for sure if he showed them or not.
Is he in here? Maybe we can have him come up.
There you go. There you go.
I invited him.
Well, hopefully he comes up and he clarifies if it was him or not, because I'm not sure, but I think.
Hello.
Hey, do you know about these text messages?
Allegedly, that's what was said, and that I did slip up and say that I didn't mean to say it in Chef's Live. Like, I did not mean to like actually leak that. That was when I came in hot in his live after I talked to her, and I was like still shaken from the conversation. And I see it, yeah, allegedly.
So
But
it
they were
was.
old messages, though, is what it was. It wasn't anything new. She said it was just sisterly arguing back and forth, and she's like, "Don't you have siblings?" I was like, "Yeah." That was it.
Well, I can tell you I have three sisters, and I would never, ever say that to any of my sisters.
Well, see, I have sisters, and I absolutely have told them numerous times that I would them
I want to
just
push
just
my sister
joking.
off a bridge half the time.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
literally.
See, I
That
mean,
is
me and
something
my
that sisters
sisters,
say to each other for real.
me and
I'm
my
dead
sisters
serious.
fight, and like we throw hands at each other sometimes, but I would never sit there and tell my sister I'm fixing to unalive you.
that's just you though, right?
Like you never
I
like.
mean,
I
I
mean,
guess it's just me,
some
but
people do, some
I don't
people
know. I
don't.
just
But you
thought that
never
was
said
weird.
anything like out of anger though. Like you're never like, "I'm gonna f and unalive you," like just because you said it, like not saying it in text message, anything like that. But like not even just to a sister, but to anybody. Like you never had that feeling like somebody cut you off and you're like, "I'm gonna fucking unalive you," like just out of anger, not once.
No, because I could never live with myself or even
But
think.
it's even if she did say that word. So does words mean that you did it?
I'm not saying it means she did it. I am not saying at all that she did it. I do think that she's involved somehow. I don't necessarily think she's involved in the crime itself.
I
What
threw a mug at my sister's head. It could have like her. You know what I mean? Because I was pissed at her and she tried to beat me up, so I threw a mug at her head and knocked her out.
Well, I mean, I get the whole fighting and like throwing stuff at each other. That's I feel like that's different. But I'm not saying that she is guilty of the crime itself. However, I do think that she knew information and she sat on it for a long time before going straight to the police and telling them, which to me, that doesn't really make her innocent.
I think she's innocent of unaliving her sister.
Well, yeah, I do too, because I think that was strictly Courtney and Brad.
Yeah, I think so. So what I base my opinion off of is her charges sitting on top of her head right now. And what is sitting on top of her head right now, I don't feel like she is guilty of. Because I know more in depth, and I'm not going to sit here and discuss that, but I know more in depth details about them. And maybe y'all will know one day, and maybe y'all won't. But me, in my opinion, I don't think she is guilty of what she's being charged with. So
Well, I feel
until
like
she's being
eventually it's going
charged
to be
with
public record.
unaliving or she's being charged with concealing, then we can talk about that then.
Yep.
But
I
I'm not going to
actually,
talk about something that's not over her head right now.
and I
I
feel
think
that
she is guilty of lying to law enforcement, though, because she has told multiple stories, even on here.
But that we're
right, but
TikTok, we're not law enforcement.
yeah, and even that though, I feel was manipulated. You know, she was manipulated into doing so. I don't think she did it on her own free will.
Yeah, but that don't matter to law enforcement. I hate to say it, but if
No,
you know what
no,
I
I know
mean.
that, but
Yeah,
that's why
that's
they have,
true.
you know, they
I mean,
make
if you lie,
media
you
around
lie.
it.
Like,
Like they
Especially to
don't
law
care.
enforcement. That's one thing you don't do.
But what she said to law enforcement is has to stem off of something psychologically internally within Kimmy, and that's for Kimmy and her lawyer and the courts to know, and not the public to know until it comes out. I'm just gonna say it that much.
Yeah,
I
I mean, I
think,
get that. It's all going to be public record eventually, but
Right.
I just don't feel like she's innocent because she, again, lied to law enforcement and she told multiple stories on here and
Right.
conflicting stories. So, did she tell them the same thing? Like, was she lying to them and telling them different stories too?
Nope.
well, if she went and reported her sister missing and she knew that she wasn't missing, you know what I mean? That is a lie.
But that's not what that charge is for. The charge is for her confession.
Yeah, well, I could have seen that coming a mile away. Like the way that creators was kind of asking the questions, I could have seen how the investigators would have been even worse when they were asking questions. Like these, I hate to say it, but I feel like that these kids, they're kids to me. I'm 33 and she's 20. I feel like that they're not knowledgeable about certain things. They don't know how to answer questions the way that you or I would, and that shit can get them jammed up. That's
Jenny or
why.
A, the answer to your question is no, because my mom would never think that way because my mom's not crazy like Courtney is. So, no, I couldn't even imagine that because, like I said, my mom would end life for her kids, not her kids.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I think her charges on top of her head right now are misunderstood, and she's innocent of them. That's
Right.
just my opinion.
And B and C, when they went into court the other day, they had absolutely no charges. Kimmy and Rich had charges. The next day, B and C had very heinous charges. Kimmy and Rich's charges stayed the same.
I do have to
That's
ask you a question. Do you remember the day that Steph was on your panel and I mentioned to her about reaching out to SF Investigates about they could ping Rebecca's phone from the day she went missing, and Kimmy flipped out on you and was like, "You're trying to hack my devices." Why do you
Yes.
think she did that?
Her mother,
Ah, okay.
I've already talked to her about that. It
Yeah,
was
because that was so suspicious. Like to me, it was.
it was her mother and Paige. It was all them together in her ear. Nobody's phone got hacked. Nobody's phone started messing up. It was Courtney's phone that she said that her phone was being hacked, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And then Paige said that her phone was being hacked into or something like that.
Well, if she has nothing to hide, then why is she worried about that? I'm just curious.
I personally think that that she was. If you want my opinion, I think that they were all suspicious because possibly of drug use. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, but Kimmy was told what had happened, and Kimmy was also threatened if she ever spoke up about what actually happened. And now that she spoke up about what happened, now we're sitting here with Kimmy in jail on some unrelated fucking shit, and then Rich in jail with some unrelated shit, and then two people with the most disgusting charges ever, and those two people. And it's like the thing about it is, and I said this earlier on a panel, is that everybody is so stuck on Kimmy and so stuck on Rich, and nobody's sitting here like their eyes on Courtney and Brad. Like, does anybody see what these people are charged with? Like what they have said every single day on a panel, all day, what they've been talking to people about, and all this stuff, what they have said publicly, how they've called their own selves out without even fucking knowing because they're so fucked up on rugs.
you know.
And now they're sitting behind bars like, oh my God, I have a son. I gotta get out. Like, what? Do you see what you just fucking did to your daughter?
Yeah,
And I get that she should have thought about her kids before she done any of this, because clearly she didn't care. Because I mean, if you care, you're not gonna unalive your child and your grandchild.
So how does Kimmy come into play with it, other than her not telling the cops right away? How does she come into play with any of this?
See, that's what I was saying, is that I don't think she is guilty on committing the crime itself, but I think she is guilty on knowing what happened and potentially where her sister's body was, and she didn't come forward because she was quote unquote scared. But in my opinion, I don't know if I just don't know if I believe her, because I feel like if you're truly scared, you're not going to be out bowling and going to dinner with this person and that person and being out in the public where anyone knows where you are. Like, if I was scared, I don't think I would be just out in public. And if I knew that someone unalived my sister, or knew that my sister was gone, because I have lost a sibling, I know how that is.
Well, I'm going to tell you from my standpoint of the call that I had with her of a confession, is that Kimberly had no idea where Becca was, but a location that Brad had told her and mentioned to her, which was Mountain Bluffs and the that Swamper River area. Those are the only two places she ever mentioned to me. And that's what she mentioned on the call. And that's why I spoke about those. And that's not even where she was. That's not even where she was found. So to me, it makes me feel like Kimmy was being told all this shit and she was lied to. And from what I'm understanding, Brad stated that he lied to Kimmy.
Yeah.
So how are they getting Kimmy on lying to law enforcement then?
They're
Like,
getting
that's
Kimmy lying to law enforcement because Kimmy told them. let me explain this. Kimmy told them that she was struck in the head with blunt force trauma and it caused her to seize. That's exactly what Kimmy told me that she was told. When she told the law enforcement officers what she was told, she was envisioning it. It's called memory something. There's a term for it. It's a psychological term for it. It's called memory something, where you're telling somebody something that you're envisioning, that you're physically seeing. So when she told them, it was more so what she saw, but she wasn't physically there. She was envisioning it as it was happening right in front of her eyes, rather than she was never there physically to see any of it. She was told it, but she could envision it in her head to sit there and tell them what she was seeing. So they are thinking that she saw it, but in reality she was told it and she was seeing it inside of her head as she was speaking. I don't know. There's a terminology for it, and multiple people have told me today what it was, but I don't remember the word for it, or the psychological term for it. And that's why I said what she's being charged with is something psychologically rather than literally.
Memory implantation.
so they're
Implanted memory. Yeah. So it's like, I don't.
she was lying. They're saying she was there when she wasn't.
Right. They're saying that she's telling them what she saw, and what she saw was a lie. That's what she's being charged with, but she never saw it. It's just when she was telling them, like, hey, I saw that, like, I saw this and whatever. When she was telling them, she was playing it in her head as she was telling them. But she was actually told all that information by Brad and Courtney. She never was there. She wasn't there at all. Multiple people have come out and proved her alibi to police of that she was never there at all at any hour of the day that night of the 3rd at all.
I will say she does have a rock solid alibi for November 3rd, and the judge said the unaliving was November 3rd, and it is guaranteed 100% Kimmy was not around Brad or Courtney. There are Rich's dad had an interview with M Live and literally said, and it contradicts any story that Kimmy picked up Rebecca. It was literally Courtney and Brad that picked up Rebecca from Rich's father's house where Rebecca and Rich were living.
So why
They
haven't they let her out then? That's crazy. I truly believe that they held her on a high bond because they did not want her out with Courtney and Brad being out. So now that they're in, they're probably reprocessing everything and re-evaluating everything and going about it in a different way. But that's something that can't be discussed on the internet.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. And I'm just saying the one charge that seems to be the biggest one that they have against her is the lying to police. I don't think the tampering is gonna stick because she wasn't there. I don't believe she was involved after the fact. Um, and with that tampering charge, if they do drop the other two charges, that tampering charge can very well just become a misdemeanor. Like, I mean, this girl could literally be out of jail even before her prelim date for December 9th. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm not saying anything like that, but it is very possible if her involvement is as minimum as she claims. If there's absolutely no evidence or proof against her, like I literally see this girl being released very soon.
Yeah. And I don't and nobody as of right now, I'm going based off of what's right in front of my face. Now, tomorrow, the next day, next week, if they sit here and they start stacking charges on Kimmy and they keep her bond where it's at and more stuff, then of course I'm going to sit here and I could retract my statements or have a different feeling, but it is okay for people to have different feelings. It's okay for people to change their mindset or how they feel about things. I think everybody has sat here and said, I think Kimmy did it. And then they're like, oh no, I think Courtney did it. Oh no, I think Brad did it. I think Rich did it. I think her biological father did it. I think Ashley's involved. Like everybody's sat here and said every single person could have been somebody that has done this. And now we're sitting here with two people that we know are being charged with it and somebody else that is being charged with something that correlates to what she told police after the fact as to her confession, but in reality the involvement within that charge is as a psychological aspect of it. So and she's being held on such a high bond, and I have never seen somebody with those three charges being held on almost $1 million bond for being a flight risk. Kimmy is not a flight risk. She's not a flight risk. She has no car. She has no money to sit here and go anywhere. She has a job. She has a place that she has a fucking curfew. All of that. She's not a flight risk. They don't see her as a flight risk because she's gonna flee somewhere. Yeah, have I said she come to Texas? I have. And I said that out of me being genuine to her as because she told me that allegedly a detective told her she needs to get away. And I said, if you needed to come here, you can come here. But that's legally, if she can legally come here, then come. But she's there because she's being protected, not necessarily. Huh?
I'm going to say she probably lied to your face on that because if a detective is questioning you for any circumstances, they're not going to sit there and tell you to get away.
And she could be lying about that. She could be.
Now she is.
But she's not charged with lying to them about that, so it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. We need to look at what she's being charged with rather than all this extra stuff that has no standpoint in court.
And honestly, like if she talked to that detective before she was actually detained and arrested, that's the same detective that had ties with her mother, Courtney. And if he thinks that Courtney was as crazy as we all do, he might have said, "Hey, like, get away from her." You know what I mean? But then,
well, I can understand him saying get away from her, but they're not going to tell her to get away from the state or anything like that.
They didn't say the
Well,
state.
not the
That's
state,
not
but
a
to get
They
out of
said
question.
that
the
town,
town.
you got to understand that Wexford, man. There's a lot of weird cases that go around there, and it's not just the child stuff. It's not the RSO people. Like
Yeah, I'd be
there's
getting
people
away
go
too if
missing
I
from
lived
that
anywhere
town.
near there.
Yeah, they
And
Yeah, no,
never
trust
told
me,
her
I
to
live
leave the
4 hours
state.
away, and that's too close for my comfort.
They never told her to leave the state.
like do you know? I don't even know what your name is up there because it's got the hearts and it just says KA. But have you heard the story about Courtney's dad?
Yes,
Like,
I have.
oh, you have.
That's why I'm saying I would get the hell away too if I lived
Yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely. Like,
Like
I
for
mean,
sure.
that whole family's crazy, and that's why I think Kimmy in this situation was easily manipulated because her mom can literally, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know what my dad did to those five people. I know these people on the police force. You think anybody's gonna have your back? Like, look what I just did to your sister. Say something. I dare you. You know what I mean? Like me in the state of mind I'm in, I'm going to the cops. Somebody like her that has grown up in foster care, has lived a rough life, to me has, some sort of possibly mental health issues. I allege, that's just my opinion. Just from talking to her, like I think she was just easily manipulated. She was used as a pawn in a very, very serious, heinous crime.
And a
And
lot of people ask me, why do I speak to Kimmy? Why am I talking to somebody in jail? I'm just going to be honest with every single 457 people. I don't take offense to somebody saying, why do you talk to somebody in jail? Okay. I am very open. A lot of people know me and know my past. And I have, for the past 2 years or past year and a half, I've been with somebody that is incarcerated in prison. Me talking to somebody in prison is nothing to me. Me talking to somebody in jail is nothing to me. And if I'm judged for it, that's fine. But there is people on this app that cover cases and cover things that have been incarcerated themselves. So to sit here and judge somebody for talking to somebody in jail or in prison is the same, is no different than talking to somebody that has been incarcerated for something else. So, and I don't judge anybody that's incarcerated unless they have a child crime, an SA crime, and they're just a nasty fucking individual in a schmurder crime that they are literally guilty of. So I'm not, I don't take any offense to it, and I don't care. And I am a fixer upper, and somebody said that on another live. I am a fixer. I like to fix people, and that's my problem. And that's something that I deal with, and it's nobody's business. And I think that Kimmy needs somebody that she can trust and she can talk to and she can vent to and laugh with and just be open with about anything and everything. She's sat here and tried to rekindle a relationship with her biological mother that hasn't been in her life for years. And the second she comes into her life, she swarms her and Becca of these men that are sick. And that's all they've known for these years. And look where it's gotten both of them. So yeah, if I can be that person that she gets out, and if she gets out and these charges go somewhere and get thrown out, or she has to do some time or something, and she gets out and tries to better herself and have a life for her child, then I'm going to be here for her. And I don't care what anybody says. Everybody's made friends out of this case and out of different cases. And if Kimmy's going to make a friend out of me, then I'm here for it. And I don't care that anybody judges me for it.
Rightfully so, you shouldn't have to apologize for that. And I'll be the first to admit I was wrong. I thought that Kimmy was guilty. I said even yesterday thinking that before we knew these charges. But then you look at it in a different light. You have to look at those charges and look at what they told her and think about how scared and the trauma. And that was her sibling that she had grew up very close with.
right,
So you have to think she was really dealing with a lot mentally and trying to keep it together. She's got a lot going on other besides this. So I was wrong, and you shouldn't have to apologize for what the facts show us.
I'm not apologizing for nothing. I'm not.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to feel that. I mean, it shouldn't be a question at this point. There's no question.
yeah. It's hard, like, because I have been defending Kimmy like since day one, and I have literally been dragged through the mud on this damn app, and it's it's so crazy that like there's so many weird people out there. Like I don't know the day that comes if she does get released and everything, I will be happier than hell just to laugh at like people like Chef and whatnot. Just saying.
And
I'm
I'm gonna say I'm like, for me personally, and I'm just gonna speak on myself, is that like I don't I don't mean I'm not doing this for clout. I don't even sit here. I hardly go live about this case and sit on live. I mean, I sit on Heather's panel. I love Heather to death and I support her. So yes, I'm going to sit on her panel and talk about the case if she wants me to, or if I feel the need to. But I don't come on live every single day or all day and talk about what me and Kimmy talk about all day. Nobody's gonna sit here and hear that. And I promised Kimmy that I wouldn't sit here and say anything about it. And I'm not going to. And if there's some things that are jokingly or something that is not gonna sit here and hinder her case or hinder where she goes or what happens to her, then sure, like I don't mind talking about it because it's not going to hurt her in any type of way. So
Right.
I don't. She needs somebody. She doesn't have anybody right now. Absolutely anybody. She has a boyfriend, and that's somebody that we don't need to discuss, and he's
Yeah.
irrelevant to all of this. But I don't see an issue as to me talking to Kimmy. If I was here for clout, I would sit here every single day when I got off the phone with her, every hour that I got off the phone with her and been like, oh my God, guess what Kimmy said? You want to hear? All right, next time I get on the phone with her, I'm going to come right back on and let y'all know. I don't do that, and I'm not going to do that. It's
Right.
that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to be I don't an advocate for her. I don't know, an ear for her to just talk to me about things, and that's it.
I've never
And
done
if I can
anything.
help her case in any type of way and guide her in any direction, I'm gonna sit here and do it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, like whoever that person is that keeps saying, "Oh, Don did that." I've never flipped on Kimmy ever since day one. Since the day I started talking to Kimmy, I've always had Kimmy's back. I've literally
But
had
you
Kimmy's
have
back since
came
she's
on
been
here
in
and
pain.
shared information that she's told you, though.
Well,
You
like I said,
have, and you are
the
guilty of that.
yeah, no, and I even admitted it, and I told Kimmy, and I apologized to Kimmy, and she forgave me for that because literally the conversation we had, I was shook. Like I was literally shook, and I was just talking freely, and I did make a comment that I did start feeling some sort of way, but after I thought about it, I went back to my roots, and I said, no, I still think she's innocent. I still think she didn't have anything to do with it. And then as far as the whole thing with Chef today, the reason why I said what I said, like we weren't friends. Like I would go on people like his live for the most part because I felt comfortable in there. He had my back when people would try to dox me, and then today he let just everything loose. I was getting dragged. My address has been leaked because of like his live. Like I'm just over it.
Don, how old are you?
Who me?
Yeah.
I never said Kimmy was guilty. I said she is innocent. I said if she's guilty, it's very minimum, and it was against her will. I never said she was guilty.
I think you cut out. How old are you?
Oh, I
Who
actually
are
I
you
said, were you talking to
asking?
me?
Yeah, I think there's a lag or something. I didn't hear your answer.
Is she talking to me?
I
Yeah.
don't know. That's what I just asked.
Oh,
I asked her who she's talking to.
I'm 41.
41. I remember when you first went on somebody's panel, might have been Chef's, and you said that you reached out to Kimmy because you knew she was vulnerable, you'd never met her, and that you wanted to see if you could get answers. That is sort of like the way others have taken advantage of her and groomed her. So for you to then say you've had her back, you have her best interest, I understand Nicole reaching out to her. She has kept it private. She's a content creator. I could see her involvement wanting to sort of maybe privately interview her. I don't know if that's how it started. I totally get that friendship, but you plainly said you knew she was vulnerable. You were going to reach out to see if you could get answers from her.
I did say that after we started talking, I said I could tell that she was a vulnerable person. She was she's a naive person. That's just how she is. I mean, anybody can sense that. That's nothing new. I said that she warmed up to me and she started opening up to me about things. And I said, yeah, I kept the conversations going because if I could get information regarding where Rebecca and the baby were, yeah, anybody would do that.
And Don, can I
You can't see
stop you right
women.
there? Can I stop you right there? Honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like, and I'm not. This is not me defending
Yeah.
Don in any type of way. Again, I don't know Don from a can of paint. I don't. I don't know what he has. I just heard of him yesterday, and I just heard him yesterday. All I know is what he has said on panels yesterday. I know nothing before that. So honestly, I really don't want my platform to be the platform that is discussing things that I have no clue about because I'm in the blind of stuff and I don't know what happened before yesterday with Dawn. All I know is what he said yesterday, and I spoke out about it to him personally and off the app, on the app, and I talked to him tonight as well on the app and off the app, and I just don't want to keep backtracking. And I feel like we're just going in circles with Dawn, and I don't want my platform to sit here and just go in circles. And everybody is coming on the panel and sitting in the comments just asking him the same thing over and over and over again, and maybe message him privately if you're
Yeah,
really
I get that, and I'm sorry that it's happening on your platform, but he does flip flop, and you've seen it, and he's now using your platform to flip flop, and that's why I'm not alone. That's why you get all the comments, just like other creators have gotten all the comments because of the flip flop, and that's okay. I mean, I just was curious. I wanted to know the age difference. I felt like it was no difference than somebody else grooming the poor girl. I don't know if she's innocent or guilty. But
I've had her back
I
since
just
day
think
one. I
it's
literally put
not
money on her
cool.
books to help her
That's
out.
okay. You could go ahead and drop me down. Thanks.
bye Julia, have a good
Bye.
night.
Man, some people are weird. Some people need somebody to talk to. And literally, that's what I was doing with Kimmy. I
I
described her
think
personality, and people take
I
things
think
the wrong
where
way.
it's coming from, Dawn, is there's a huge age difference. The way you came on about speaking with her and getting information, like Julia stated, and Kimmy's background. I think that that's where it all becomes very weird, and that's why people are like coming at you and questioning you is because basically because of Kimmy's background, the situation she came from, the situation she's in, and then she's got you being a 41-year-old man coming out of nowhere because she doesn't know you and talking to her. And I think I think people are just finding it weird, and some people are finding it like inappropriate, and that's what that's all about.
No, and I totally get it, but I just don't want it to be misconstrued. Like, I said I was talking to her. I said if she was going to warm up to me to give me information to where I could help find Rebecca or the baby, I would, obviously you go to the cops with that kind of information. It wasn't like I was badgering her to get the information from her. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I wasn't interrogating the girl. I was,
And honestly, after talking to Don tonight, and he asked me questions off the live. He asked me questions off the live, and I answered those questions. Not everything I talked to Kimmy about, but some of the things that he asked me, majority of them that he asked me, me and Kimmy have talked about too. So it's like what she's talking to him about is the same exact thing that she's said to me. Like, I don't know of any other conversations that he's had with her or what they talk about. I don't care what the fuck they talk about. It's not any of my business. It's private for a reason. And if it's something that's concerning and law enforcement thinks it's concerning, then I'm sure they'll chime in and do something about it. But I don't know. I don't. I feel like I don't know. I guess I don't know what. I think if maybe I don't know. I don't know. I mean, would it be different to y'all if he was 21 and she was talking to him? Is that what's going on? Like if he was younger and he talked to her talking to her about the same thing, would it be different? Because I mean, the father of her child the father of her child is 41 years old. And I mentioned to
I
Kimmy,
think, not to cut
wait,
you
hold
off,
on, Kate, hold on, Kate. I mentioned to Kimmy today, like, hey, do you know how old Dawn is? And this was something concerning, and I'll be open about it, Dawn. I asked
Yeah.
Kimmy how if she even knew how old you were, and she told me no. So and I said, and I
Yeah.
told her how old you were, and she said, well, the father of my child's 41, so it didn't matter to her.
Yeah, her and I are friends on Facebook and everything. She knows how old I am, like
Are you
100%.
sure she knows how old you are?
Yeah, like we've talked about it. She knows where I work, everything. Like I hide nothing
So do
from
you
her.
know
It's
why
not
she
like I'm
told me
trying to hide
no?
her. Maybe I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. Like I really don't know, honestly. Unless she just forgot. I really don't know.
It doesn't
see,
matter to her. And I think it doesn't matter to her
What
because
did
I
I have to
think
lie about? That
I
Mary Lou
think
thing's weird as fuck.
I think I think Kemi has been in this lifestyle for some years now that this is normal to her. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying that I
I
don't
never.
know Don from a can of paint, so I don't know him. I don't know who he is. I don't know how he is as a person. I don't know him at all. I don't know what kind of person he is, but um I don't so I
they
can't sit
trusted
here
that
and back him
trusted
and
God is
I
asking
can't
for a
sit
lot.
here and bash him. The only thing that I had an issue with is him coming on live answering every single question that people asked as in regards to what he talked to her about and what she said and how he responded and all of that. And I don't like that because I talked to Kimmy about a lot of things and I would not sit here and get on a panel and get on my live and spew everything that Kimmy's telling me because at that point I'm just sitting here taking advantage of her and Kimmy has already been in a vulnerable position for years now, and so is Becca. And look where it led Becca, and look where it could lead Kimmy if she was to get out of jail. You know what I mean? So I don't want Kimmy to feel like everybody around her is just taking advantage of her and using her and abusing her. I don't want to be that person. And I can't speak for Dawn. And if y'all want to speak for Dawn, that's y'all's choice. But me personally, I'm not going to, and I don't think that we need to sit here on my panel for hours and minutes on minutes just asking him numerous of questions. If you have an issue, please message him privately. That's it. You are using her. Well, then guess what? You're using my platform to get the fuck off. Bye.
Right?
I agree with you.
I'm not gonna sit here and listen to this.
And I told Nicole last night, I think that it's great that Kimmy feels safe with her. That's a safe place and a safe person, and that's somebody that she needs right now in her life. Even though I didn't last night, I was still conflicted about how I felt. I told Nicole, I said, you need to be there. She knows that. That's what I told her. I said, she needs you as that person. And, we need to just look at it like that. It's a friend. If you have a friendship or a bond with somebody, you don't break that trust. That's just something you don't do, regardless of the situation. And she
See,
needs that support right now.
and I
Nicole
can
is
agree
the
to that.
person
Like
she
she
can
does, she
trust.
probably does need somebody to talk to after being through all the trauma that all of them have been through, including Becca before her death. Like she went through trauma that she should have never went through at her age either. Like it's obvious that they have grown up in a not a good situation. Like yeah, they had a good household from what I've heard with the adoptive parents, but before that clearly wasn't good. And then they got roped back in by the bio egg donor, and I'm not even going to call her a mom because she's not one. She's an egg donor. That's all she is. They got roped back in by her to be back in a bad situation, and I think that that's where all of this has begun, is because of her.
Yeah,
So
from the moment she walked
yeah,
I
in,
think, yeah,
back
I
to
into
think
it.
that that's the problem that everyone has with Dawn is that Kimmy and Becca have lived in this not good lifestyle being around their bio egg donor and clearly been with guys way older than they should have been with. And I think that that's where people see the problem with Dawn being this older man coming out of nowhere and start talking to her after she's been in this horrible situation where she's vulnerable. I think
The
that's where a lot of people see the problem.
the only connection like and I have is I do work with somebody that is affiliated with one of her cousins. And then Kimmy also went to Houghton Lake Schools, which is where I live. Um, so when we were discussing the whole case in the beginning, I was talking to her cousin. I'm not going to say his name because it's nobody's business. But I did, I reached out to Kimmy about it because I was like, what's going on with your sister and all this, like, is everything okay? Like, and when we started talking, and I was getting that kind of a feeling like there was she knew something, just like Nicole and just like Chef. I urged her to go to the cops. And instead, she went to her foster mom, to make sure that her daughter was going to be okay, when she went to the cops and gave her story. Like that was it. Like I just urged this girl to do the right thing, and she kept in contact with me. We've been in talks. If she feels safe talking to me, I don't mind. It's nothing weird. I'm not trying to date her. You know what I mean? But if she has comfort in me while she's in jail to call me, and I can give her that sense of normalism. You know what I mean? When you're locked up in those walls and you don't have anyone else to talk to, like, does anybody else like put money, on her phone so she can call and talk to him? I don't know, but I will. So that way she has somebody to reach out to so she doesn't feel alone. And if that's a problem when it's two adults that are over 21 years old, I'm not the weird one. If somebody wants to, people are 18, 19, 20, and they do, I'm not a therapist by any means, but they do.
I just got violated, y'all. I gotta restart. I'll
Okay,
be back, y'all. Y'all can come back.
okay, I'll be
Okay.
here
Somebody,
shortly.
somebody reported me. I'm sorry, y'all.